Welcome guys on E11 Forex Trading. My name is Elijah. I want to welcome everyone on this wonderful new year 2021. You're all welcome on E11 Forex Trading, where we share our thought process about different paths in Forex trading. So we'll be sharing our thought process on different paths that we'll be taking a look at today on Forex trading. So let's get into it, guys. So yes guys, we'll be taking a look at some few paths right now. We'll be taking a look at Gbpusd, and we'll also go take a look at some other few paths as like Eurusd, Gbpjpy and gold. So if we still have some time, we'll take a look at other paths. So let's take a look at Gbpusd. So let's just clear some things here. So we'll be taking a look at Gbpusd. So we'll be taking a look at from a monthly time frame, so we can have a clear picture on what is going to be happening, throughout this year or some months that are coming. So as you can look here, I just highlighted here what has been happening in the monthly perspective. Our price has been moving to the downside. So as you can see, around this area here in 2007, around this area, price dropped massively, came to this area, price came, touched that area there, and the price went came down, touched this area. The price is going back to the same trend line. So here we had a first touch, a second touch. Now around this area we might be having a third touch. If price doesn't break out of this area, we may be having a third touch from a monthly perspective. And price, if it doesn't break out of this trend line here, price might be shooting to the downside on a monthly perspective. But if price here break this area, price might be coming to test this level. Price might come and test this level from a monthly perspective. Price might come and test this level. If price break above this level at 1.42991, the price might be shooting to the upside, and then come and test again this level here around 1.56700 area. But at the moment, price is still trapped within this decelerating channel. This decelerating channel, price action here, price move impulsively to the downside, corrected, move impulsively to the downside, then correction. So now price around this area is just doing some correction here. So price around this area might have a third touch and push to the downside from a monthly perspective. That is our thought process on a monthly perspective. So let's take a look at a weekly time frame. So the weekly time frame, as you can see, price has never broke out of this upward trend here, but also price is trapped within a decelerating channel to the upside. So around this area, we'll be taking a look at what happened around this area here of 1.36 700 800 area here, where we anticipate our third touch on a monthly time frame and price shoot to the downside. So as you can see from a weekly time frame, price action has been forming highs, lows, highs, lows, but in a decelerating form. Price has been just being squeezed to the upside. So around this area, we'll be taking a look at what happened here. We may have a third touch from a monthly time frame and a weekly time frame, and if price break out of this uptrend, then price will be shooting. So we anticipate that if price doesn't break that area, price may be shooting until this area here at 1.13130 from a monthly perspective and weekly perspective. But if price then decide to break out of this area, the price will then consolidate around there and then shoot to this area there. So that is, so we'll be, when price reach there, that's where we'll take a look at what happens, from that area. But at the moment, we anticipate a third touch there, and then we push to the downside. So price might decide to break out of here, go and grab some liquidity there, around this area, and price might shoot back to the downside, back in this channel. So around this area, we anticipate that price might, break back to the downside. But we'll be taking a look at what happened here. We don't dictate what price does. We just student, of the price. So let's take a look at a daily time frame. From a daily time frame, around this area, as you can see on a daily time frame, here, we can see that they were the first touch there, second touch there, and third touch, within this channel, within this decelerating channel, within this, channel where now price is being squeezed. So now there might be a third touch there. Price might be playing around this area, then break to the downside. If price then play around this area, and break out of this area, remember on a monthly time frame, we're expecting a third touch there, and then price drop to the downside from a monthly perspective, based on what we are anticipating. So this is what we anticipate. So on a daily time frame, we're expecting a third touch there, then price shoot back to the downside. So let me just try to shift this analysis from a monthly time frame. So on a daily time frame, we anticipate that price may push a little bit to the upside, and then price then come to the downside there. So we anticipate that price might shoot a little bit to the upside, and then from there price might come to these levels there, and then price also might come to this level from a daily time frame, and then price might decide to go back again from that area, from a daily time frame, and then from there price might break impulse, with impulse correction. Price doesn't move in a straight line like this, so there will be impulse correct until around this area here. So that's what we are looking at, on a long term, on Gbpusd. So if price doesn't play, if price decide to break out of this area, then price will be shooting to the upside, going to this target from a monthly time frame around this area there of 1.43550. If 1.34550 broke, it will go to 1.56600. But at the moment, our first thought process is that there will be a third touch there, then price goes to the downside. So that's what we are looking at. So let's go to a 4-hour time frame. So on a 4-hour time frame, as you can take a look here, on a 4-hour time frame, look at how price is moving. Price is moving to the upside. So price is moving, in this channel here to the upside. So this channel price, around this area, we may see that price around this area is busy consolidating around that area, and price might go to this area there, around there, and then price might go to this level here, and then from that level, price from this area, price might shoot to this level there. Remember, price may be going with a in a in a push phase, corrective phase. So price will not go, price will go in a push phase, corrective phase, push phase, corrective phase until this area there. So that's our first target, from a 4-hour time frame. So this is what we'll be taking a look at from a 4-hour time frame. That's our first target, on Gbpusd, from a 4-hour time frame. So yes, definitely that's what we'll be taking a look at around this area here. Price might decide to go and test this area we have a third touch from a monthly time frame, and then shoot to the downside, and then price might decide to go up, on a daily time frame, go there and then break to the downside, moving to the target which we set on a monthly time frame. So that's what we are looking at. So also let's take a look at an hourly time frame. So as you can see from an hourly time frame there, so as you can see on the hourly time frame, price is just consolidating around this deceleration form. So price is saving it difficult to move to the upside. So price might be moving through this channel and then get to this area, have a third touch there from monthly time frame and 4 hour, then price drop to the downside. So that's what we are anticipating from a monthly time frame, 4 hour time frame. So I anticipate that price around these areas, around this area there may be a great drop from there, or price might decide to drop straight from here. Price might decide to drop out of there and then move to the downside. So but first we anticipate that price might go a little bit and touch that trend line, have a third touch from a monthly time frame, then we shoot to the downside. If now things change, price may break up and then consolidate and then move to the upside. That's our second thought process. So let's take a look at Gbpjpy. So we take a look at Gbpjpy. Let's start from a monthly time frame. So from a monthly time frame, Gbpjpy, as you can see also around this area, around 2007, price moved impulsively to the downside, and then price corrected. The price also moved in a difficulty to the downside, and then could not break this low. Then price formed this bullish flag here. So price formed this bullish flag, and and then pushed to the upside. So also you can see within this reversal pattern, there's a bullish flag that is formed within there. Then price pushed to the upside. So the same thing around this area. As you can see, price went impulsively to the downside from 2015. Price went impulsively from the to the downside. Price corrected, and price also has formed this reversal pattern. But within this reversal pattern, price is forming some flag there, some bullish flag. So around this area, price, if it doesn't break to the downside, price might decide to go and test this area, having a third touch also here. So we might have a third touch also around this area. We might have a third touch around this area if price doesn't break to the downside. Price from a monthly perspective, so price might decide to want to come and touch this area, have a third touch. As you can see here, there was an impulsive move to the downside, then corrected, and then price formed this bullish flag and a reversal pattern within a pattern, then price impulsively break to the upside. So also here price went to the downside, corrected. So we anticipate that price might also break monthly perspective. Price may break to the upside, have a third touch, and then from the price may drop to the downside, or price may decide to drop from there to the downside. So let's take a look at the weekly time frame. So as we see from a weekly time frame here, from a weekly time frame, as you can see, price has never broken this uptrend. Price has not broke this uptrend, so price is just moving within this area. So price might decide from there to push to the downside, test this area again. If price doesn't break, price might decide to go back and then to this area, or price from there might break out of this area, come and test this level there, then price shoot to the upside. So what we're anticipating is that price may go, if price doesn't break this uptrend, plus price might come test this area, then shoot to the downside. So all price may go to the downside straight from there, forming a double top from this area. So price might form a double top. If price doesn't break out and go and have a third touch there, price may form a double top and then shoot to the downside from there. So let's take a look at the daily time frame. So the daily time frame, as you can see, price is forming here, an expansion channel, on a daily time frame. So price is forming an expansion channel above this trend line. So price from there might decide, to shoot to the downside from there. Price might decide to come and touch there again. Then price might, playing around this area. If price doesn't break this level there, price might decide to break to the downside, or price from there may go to the upside and have a third touch from that monthly perspective. So that's what we're anticipating, on Gbpjpy. So let's take a look at a 4-hour time frame. So on a 4-hour time frame, as you can see there, price when it's testing this level again here. So as you can see around this area, price is testing this level around this area, and look at how price is moving to the upside. So price from this level might decide to break, this level and shoot to the downside, forming a double top from a daily time frame and move to the downside. So but on a long term, we anticipate that price, let's go back to the monthly time frame. We anticipate that price might shoot a little bit to the upside before it drop, before a massive drop. So price, from a long time, price might go to test that area and then price drop to the downside. So that's what we're anticipating from a monthly time frame. But on a daily time frame, on a 4-hour time frame, price might play around this region there, or price break, come and test this area there around 127.162. So that's what we're anticipating the move on Gbpjpy. So let's take a look at Euro-USD. So as we take a look at Eurusd, let's take a look from a monthly time frame. So from a monthly time frame, as you can see, price has been moving, within this downward channel, and then price with this last monthly candle has closed above this area, this trend line. Prices broke up out of this area. So price might decide to come and test this level, price might come and test this level around 1.25, 143. So price might come and test this level before it drop to the downside. So if price doesn't break that level, so we anticipate that price might decide to come and test this level here, and then price might, decide to drop to the downside or back in this channel, form some head and shoulders, and then price go move like that, to the downside. So that's what we're anticipating on a long term. So price, we anticipate that price might be, this might be a fake breakout, this might be a fake breakout. Price might come and test this level and then break back in from a head and shoulder, and then price shoot to the down, shoot down straight. So let's take a look at a weekly time frame on this Euro-USD. So on a weekly time frame, so as you can see on a weekly time frame, price move impulsively, corrected, move impulsively, corrected. So now price is on an impulsive move. So around this area, price might be consolidating. As you take a look, from this previous move here, as you take a look at this previous move around this area, price impulsively moved, corrected, and then price came and then began to correct there. The same thing around this area, price moved, corrected, and the price moved a bit there, then formed some consolidation, then the price dropped to the downside. So the same price action around this area, it is quite similar with the same price action that is forming around this area, but it may not be candle to candle. So anticipate that around this area, price may consolidate and then drop back in, and then maybe around this area form a head and shoulder and then shoot to the downside. So that's what we're anticipating on a long term, on a monthly time frame and a weekly time frame. So as you can see around this area there, so let's just clear that out. As you can see around this area, how price has been moving, to the upside. So price, as it moved to the upside on this area there, price has been moving, within this channel, on a decelerating channel there, reversal pattern. So whatever is, you know, price is doing, so price might be pushing, you know, move to the upside, keep on pushing to the upside, keep on pushing to the upside, or drop around this area there. So price might decide to go test this level there and then drop to the downside or consolidate around this area. But as you can look at how price is moving, it's moving, you know, within this channel, you know, on a reversal. This is a reversal channel, you know, pattern what is forming there. So showing that price might decide to reverse back, you know, inside as we showed you around this area. So price also around this area, price move impulsively, corrected, then impulsively, you know, price began to consolidate. So around this area, price might consolidate around this area before breaking back into the, you know, in and then long term to the downside. So that's what we are taking a look at. So if price break above this area of 1.25, then price will now push to the upside. So if price break above there, then we're looking at a bullish, you know, movement. But if price says, you know, doesn't break this level, price may consolidate then break back in, form some head and shoulders, then push to the downside. So that's what we're anticipating, you know, on weekly and you know, on daily time frame. So in daily time frame, price may decide to still move within this channel before drop to the downside. So what we anticipate is that price might decide to move like that, then, you know, break out of there. So when price break out of this area from a daily time frame, price might decide to, you know, come to these areas. You know, price might consolidate for some time, then drop back in to this level from a daily time frame, then form head and shoulders, then push to the downside. So that's our thought process on this Euro USD. So let's take a look at 4-hour time frame. So on a 4-hour time frame, as you can see that, you know, price is just pushing to down, you know, upside, you know, with this reversal pattern. So out, when you can see price moving with this in channel, we know that price may break you know, to the downside, but price may decide to break to the upside. We don't dictate what price does. So that's what we are anticipating long term, is that price may push a little bit to the upside, then drop, you know, massively. There may be massive moves, you know, to the downside, you know, throughout this 2021, you know, on Gbpusd, Gbpjpy, Euro USD. Also, we anticipate that there may be massive moves to the downside. So let's take a look at gold. Let's take a look, you know, at gold from a monthly time frame. So as you can take a look at gold from a monthly time frame, as you can see around this area, price pushed to the upside, formed this channel, you know, around 2012, formed this bullish, you know, flag, you know, price formed this bullish, you know, pattern. Then the price broke above but could not beat the previous high. The price dropped impulsively, price dropped to this trend line there, and then price went up. So whatever is happening, you know, around there. So as you can take a look at around this area, around 2020, also price is forming some bullish pattern here. Price is forming some bullish pattern. So price might decide to break up, you know. If price doesn't break, you know, beat this previous record, price from this area might drop, you know, and come and test this trend line, then price shoot to the upside. So we anticipate that from a monthly time frame, price may break, you know, to the upside. If price doesn't break this level, price may then, you know, price from a monthly time frame, we anticipate that price might decide maybe to break, you know, to this level, form some M formation or double top, then price, you know, move to the downside, test this level, then price shoot back up. So that's our thought process on this on gold. So let's take a look at, you know, weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, as you can see there, we anticipate that price, there's a first touch there, second touch, there may be a third touch around this area. Price might decide also from this level, you know, if price doesn't break a third touch there, price may go to the downside, around this area, and then price may decide also to push up and then break out of there, form that monthly target, which we anticipate that price might move, form an M formation or double top, then shoot down, test this trend line. So let's take a look at a daily time frame. On the daily time frame, as you can see, price has been pushing to the upside within this channel. So we anticipate a third touch also around this area. We anticipate that maybe around this area there might be a third touch around this area, then price drop to the downside. So if price then break this area, we'll expect a consolidation, then price test this level, then drop to the downside as we shown from this level here. Remember, such patterns, we trade price action, but we use some patterns as guidelines to see what price is trying to do. So patterns always repeat themselves, so we just use patterns as a guideline to see what might happen in the coming time or months or days to come. So as I said, around this area, price impulsively moved to the upside. There was a bullish flag or pattern there, but price could not break this previous high, then price dropped. So around this area again, we are seeing some same thing, but not candle to candle. We are seeing this bullish flag here, so we anticipate that price may drop a little bit to the downside, form a third touch there, drop to the downside, price move up there, form an M formation, then price come test this level, then from this area around 1457, then price went to anticipate that price might push impulsively to the upside. So that's what we are taking a look at on gold. So that's our anticipation on gold. So let's just clear some of these things out. Let's clear some of these things out there. So that's what we are anticipating on gold. That's what we are anticipating on gold. So around this area, price around this area, there may be a third touch around this area. If price then break, so price will be breaking to the downside, test that area, have another touch within that channel, then price should back up, form some, grab some liquidity and go impulsively to the downside to test a long-term trend line, then price push to the upside. So that's our thought process, guys, on gold. So yes, so that's what we are anticipating on gold on monthly time frame. So that's our thought process. That's what we have been that's our thought process on these pairs that we have analyzed on GBP USD, Gbpjpy, Euro USD, and gold. So those are our thought process. So don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe till we meet again on our next analysis. Awesome, guys.